It pays to be kind to people because you never know when you're going to see them again. I went to Florida for Christmas to see my family. Yes, I'm coloring my hair, and yes, my head is on fire. I've been trying to tell this story 3 times, but clearly I don't know how to deal with this TikTok-y thing. Anyway, going to Christmas, see my family. We had not spent Christmas together since 2019, since before the pandemic. Now, I attempted to go a couple years ago, 2022, but I was caught up in that Southwest debacle. Gratefully and thankfully, they canceled my flight before I left my house, but I was packed. I was ready to go. But I had to call and tell my family I wasn't going to make it and try and get my ticket refunded. Luckily, Southwest did all the things, although I had to email the president to get a proper compensation. But, you know, Mr. Pete Buttigieg got in the middle of everything and everybody got what they needed. So anyway, I'm excited because this year we're going to be together, all together again. And we've been doing this trip since I was a little girl. We would they would come to my city or I would be wherever they are. But we were always together every other Florida. Every other holiday we were together. Every other Christmas, I should say. Anyway, I get all the things together. My favorite purple bag is all packed. I'm ready to go. The weather in my city is great, so there's not going to be it's not frozen, so the flights are going to be on time and I can get up out of here. Then the weather in Florida was nice, so there weren't any rainstorms, and then the weather going down south was nice, so there were no snowstorms in Georgia or any of that freak weather that they normally have. So I'm excited because as I look at things, it's going to go great. I get on the flight, I get there, and I head to baggage claim. I make it to baggage claim. I had a nonstop flight, and I am like, let's go. This is going to be a great week. So I went and I was at baggage claim. My cousin who was picking me up caught up with me. I didn't know he was picking me up. I thought I was going to have to take a cab or something to the hotel and check in and do all of the things. But he was there to pick me up. I was so excited. And we see each other. We start chatting. He asked me, he's like, which bag is it? I said, what's purple? He's like, purple? I said, you know, Prince. You know I love purple. And so we're waiting on the bag, and I'm like, well, who all here? You know, when are people coming in? We're doing the normal family chit-chat, clowning and laughing. So finally I see the purple bag. I said, oh, here it is. And then it comes around, and I'm like, yes, here it is. So I grabbed it. My cousin would have picked it up, but it's just my habit to grab it. So I grab it, and I look at the bag. I said, oh, this isn't mine. I said, but it looks exactly like this. I've never seen a bag that looked just like mine. Most people have a black bag or they have a pattern or something, but it was literally the same exact bag. And I knew it wasn't mine because one, my name wasn't on it, and two, there was a leopard print scarf on the handle. I was like, well, that certainly is not mine because I would not have wasted one of my leopard print scarves on a handle. So we put it back down, comes around again. I'm like, okay, well, there it is. It's the same bag. Comes around again. There. So by the 4th time, I was like, my bag is not here. People have cleared out. There's very few. There's no more bags coming off. It's just the same bag going around and around and around. So I went over to the baggage claim. Now I forgot a part of the story is that when I was on the flight, I was so excited. I was saying hi to everybody. I was like, you know how toddlers are like, hey, hi. I was like that because I was so excited. I was like, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. And everybody said Merry Christmas except this one Scrooge. I was like, oh, you can be Scrooge-ish on your own. Yes, honey, I'm going back blonde. Some grays were peeking out, and I was like, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. I'm not trying to go too light. I'm going to make this story quick because I need to get this off my head. It is burning. Now, before y'all give me grief, I'm a cosmetologist. I know exactly what I'm doing. I don't need any tips or tricks. I'm good. I promise you I'm good. And it's going to be beautiful. And so so except it was that one Grinch, and I was like, oh, you were cute until you acted ugly. So anyway, I get to the little door where you're supposed to tell the person your bag isn't there so you can report it, and the door is locked. I was like, that's what I get for taking the last flight. I hate early flights because everything is always packed, but the last flight is typically pretty chill, right? So I go to the next booth over, but of course it was a different airline, and they were like, we're ready to go and we can't help you. I said, but what am I supposed to do? My bag isn't here and they're closed. Well, we can't help you. Well, you can use the phone around the corner. I was like, well, can you call and just see? Like, aren't y'all connected some type of way? So she looks past me and she's like, well, there's the lady you need to talk to right there. Like, I knew who she was. Oh, of course. There she is. So I walk over to the woman who was going to help me. And I said, hey, this isn't my bag, but my bag looks just like this. My bag did not make it. So she's like, oh, okay, well, let's see. This isn't your bag? I said, no, this is not my bag. And so she looked at the name. We could walk over to the booth. She looks at the name. She does her little thing on the computer. And she gets the phone number. That's why they ask for all that information, so they know how to reach you. So she calls the person. And she says, hey, did you by chance pick up your luggage from the airport? And I couldn't hear the conversation, but I just heard the person laugh. I was like, is it funny? So the person laughed and asked, could they do it tomorrow? She said, no. This person would like their bag tonight. I was like, tomorrow? You sound crazy. So they hung up the phone. I asked her, I said, will you stay because I don't want to be responsible for this person's bag. And this person's bag looked just like mine. So I don't want no smoke. She waits. I'm standing there with my cousin. I sit down. I'm like, well, how far away are they? I was not complaining. I was saying that in my head. Child, this beautiful BMW pulls up. And I said, well, that's because cars had been continue to pull up. I said, well, that's the car right there. And my cousin was like, how do you know? I said, my spidey senses. So this beautiful car, it stops and the trunk opens up and like magic, there's my bag. And it looks just like the bags are like twins. And I've never seen another bag. The person pops out of the car, and it was not at all what I expected. Pops out of the car, child. And it's McGrouchy Grouch from the airplane that didn't want to say hello. So I just looked at him. Of course it's you, McGrouchy Grouch. And do you know he still wouldn't speak to me? But this time it was out of embarrassment. He only spoke to my cousin. And let me tell you about my cousin. My cousin is like 6'3.5". We're the exact opposite. He's almost a foot taller than me. He's built, he's a gym rat, so he's built, and he's very like astute. I'm like, yeah. He's like, yes, and this and this and this. So he's cracking jokes with the man and saying, well, if you want to trade something, we can trade this BMW that you're in. And they start laughing. He still doesn't talk to me. That's fine. I got my bag. I'm hanging out with my family. I'm ecstatic. But here's the moral of the story. Just be kind to people. You never know when you're going to see them again. You never know when you're going to have another interaction. And you never know who people are. You never know who people are. And you never know what people are going through. What if I was one of those crazy women who would and cussed him out? But I didn't. I was gracious. And I had my cousin with me that keeps me calm. So I had my purple bag. I had a great week with my family, and I had a very Merry Christmas. Just be kind to one another. That's all I'm saying.